This is Purpose of Life. Welcome to this program, Purpose of Life. Purpose and life. These are two very interesting words which we can talk so many details on these two very powerful words. We've been going through different characters in the Bible, and all the characters in the Bible have purpose and have experienced life. There are some big characters like Abraham, David, Elijah, major characters. But then there are also characters who have done a little turning point, but a major turning point. One of the characters which really has intrigued me very recently is a character found in the book of Joshua. Of course, Joshua himself is a character of faith and a man who was bold enough to go and step in to the promised land after Moses. But then today's program is not about Joshua. Today's program is about a lady who was in the enemy camp, who made it possible for Joshua to conquer this land. The person I'm talking about is Rahab, the prostitute. Now, the topic itself and the title of the topic itself is very interesting because the nature of the work she did is not even, is something which is very, it's not of what God's value is. But then the interesting part about this character is in the New Testament, we find the Hebrew writer mentioning about women of faith, and then he's talking about, the Hebrew writer talks about two women, and one is Abraham's wife Sarah, and the other is Rahab, the person I just mentioned right now, found in the book of Joshua. Joining me in today's discussion is Dr. Rajkumari Sunder, medical director for the Madras Diocese. She was done some large years of experience in this field of medicine. She was formerly the medical director of the Madras Diocese, and she's here as an evangelist, as a person who's sharing the word of God, as a person who has witnessed several childbirths as a part of her profession as a gynecologist, with us expounding on this character of Rahab. Dr. Rajkumari, it's a pleasure to have you. Talking about Rahab, there are several characters of faith in the Bible, but what interests me is Rahab is equated to a woman of great faith, which is Sarah. Now, why would the writer first equate Rahab, and what is the background of Rahab? It would be good if you can just give us a little explanation.
According to the word of God, in the beginning chapters of Joshua, we read about Rahab. She was a prostitute and she lived in Jericho. Joshua sent 2 spies to Jericho to see the land and also the fortifications of the land. So when they went, they entered into Rahab's house. See, the king of Jericho, he was informed that 2 spies have entered Rahab's house. So he sent the soldiers telling, I want to know about these 2 people. He wanted them out. Immediately, Rahab, she exhibited the great faith she has in God, the God of Israel, because she didn't want to give up these 2 people to the king of Jericho, who could have killed them.
But not only killed them, killed her also.
Yeah, she also would have been killed. But she took them to the roof of the house and she covered them with those flags, and she told them, you stay here, I know your God. Your God is God. That's the most beautiful word she says. Your God is God. Because she would have worshipped so many deities in Canaan. But she realized the God of Israel is the true God. And she also says he is the God of heaven and God of earth. Because only God of heaven and God of earth can do the miracles which he has done for you people. He delivered you from Egypt. He opened the Red Sea. He made you to walk on dry land. And then he killed so many kings and destroyed so many kingdoms with his power. to make you to walk up to this. So she made a beautiful statement, your God is God. And she believed in that God, only God, the living God, who could save and who could give life.
My question is also, in that town, she was the only person who took that bold stand, which means information came, everybody would have heard. So, what makes her unique, or what makes her faith unique? How did she exhibit that uniqueness which the New Testament writers write about her extreme step of faith?
I personally believe that God had a purpose in her life. So faith comes by hearing, hearing the word of God. All the people heard about what God was doing for the people of Israel,
Correct.
but nothing happened in their heart. Whereas this only woman, she believed, she received faith through what she heard. And she believed that the God of Israel is the true God. And she acted. It's not only believing. Many times we will also believe, but acting according to faith. Faith without works is dead. So she acted boldly, courageously. And I also see, Mr. Ashwin, the hand of God in this, the whole purpose of this Rahab's life.
Right. So faith comes by hearing, and hearing the
Hearing the words of God.
Words of God. And those days there was not a written document.
No.
So faith, her only inspiration was what she heard.
Yes.
And she put that faith on that hearing. Am I right? I mean, that's
Correct.
what you're explaining.
Yes.
But let me take another situation. When Joshua went as a spy in the same land 40 years ago, there were 12 leaders sent. Joshua and Caleb were part of it. Now there, the people of Israel, or the spies who sent, were leaders. And they also saw what God did. So in that situation, seeing these 10 leaders could not believe. But whereas Rahab did not see, but only heard and believed. So how do you see these two situations?
It's very unfortunate that those 10 people did not believe what they saw. They looked at the external stature of the people there and they compared that to themselves. Oh, there are giants. We are like locusts in front of them. See, their whole, the faith disappeared from their heart. And they depended on their visual effects. Whereas Caleb and Joshua, they believed in the promise of God. God said, I am going to give you that land. So they believed the word of God.
So what you're saying is faith alone will not take you. Faith with action.
Faith in word of God.
Faith in word of God and acting on it.
Acting on it.
Okay, we're going to take a short break. And my next question would be is, if that is the case, how do we see faith in today's life? How did Rahab see it? And what is the risk she took? So faith, does faith alone saying, okay, I believe in God is one side. But how do we go to the faith like Rahab, who said, I believe, I acted? So explain on that. And so what is real faith? That's the question, and that's going to come after the short break. And viewers, we are talking about the faith of Rahab. And don't miss this next part, which is going to come after the short break.